Hi, and here are some helps for you for this upcoming week's lessons. Lesson number 3, Article of Faith number 2. Again, I hope everybody's figuring out how to work their way through navigating the course. You should click the Content tab, and it should bring you to the week you're supposed to be working on. And I think that'll be good for get you to where you need to get to. Again, this course is not set up like a lot of other courses, so I apologize for that, but that's just the way the designers have done it. If you have complaints or concerns, you can voice them to me, and I will listen to them because I have very little skin in this course, and I think we need to do all we can to improve it. So, anyway, this week's lesson, you should get a tab that looks like this. Lesson 3. Again, the questions and conversations tab there you could click if you want to report a problem. And a lot of times the peer group will help you with that before I can get to it. I try to get to the best to respond to people best I can in the evenings every day, Saturdays and Sundays. Never on Sundays, but Saturdays sometimes. And I just want to make sure that you get what you need for help. But weekends are a little bit slow, so you need a little patience there. You might try and call or text me. I like to talk to students, so don't be scared of that. One thing you want to do is make sure that you put your name, full name, the one that's in the course if you're married, if you're giving me some correspondence. Because sometimes if the people marry and they change their last name, especially the sisters, and it's not changed inside into iLearn, and so I can't tell who it is. So, make sure you give me your name, and I'll be happy to help you. This week, again, Article of Faith 2, we believe that men will be punished for their own sins, and aren't we grateful for that? And not for Adam's transgression or my neighbor's. I have enough problems, and I imagine you probably feel that way as well. This lesson has 2 sections: Study Assignment 1, the fall and agency, and assignment 2, personal accountability, with these points here that you can read, okay, and work on. Again, the learning goal focus this week is stated right here, and it's kind of they changed this up, but anyway, learning goal this week is becoming a covenant keeper. So keep that in mind as you're working your way through the materials. Key preparation materials. These are things you want to do. This is where you got to read. So you read these things. Hyperlinks, I believe, work. Here are the optional readings. If you've got time, they're very good to read. Required readings again for the second principle, right here, Moses and Second Nephi, and the supplementary readings here from Elder Oaks and Elder Christofferson. This week we'll have a discussion board post just like last, so you've got to make sure you get your first post in by Tuesday night, and addressing one of these 3 items. And man, it's really good if you'll just do it this way. If you put down A, B, or C, personal relevance or key events and message to share, something like that, and then make your post. The discussion board should not open up until you make your first post. I know some have complained about that. The course designers want people to post blind the first time in, and then you can look around and make some adjustments. And anyway, get that in and make sure that you've posted something substantial. It looks like for the most part everybody is doing very well with that. Again, here are these links to the same discussion board that get you here later in the week. So something on Thursday and then again on Friday or Saturday, but you've got to have the required number of posts, and that's what you'll get. And if you get those in, things will be good. Okay. Summary paper right here. Click on this. The instructions, hyperlinks are here. You'll need to do that. That's due on Friday. And then down here, end of week reporting. There's the link to submit your final report. I'll come back to the Synthesis project in a second, but there has been some confusions about the Google Drive binder. You're going to be asked to report on each one of the subjects they ask you to create for the binder, a little segment of something you've learned in each one of those categories, about I think it's 3 times during the term. And basically you've just got to have an electronic place where you store this. This is what they want to do. If you want to use something besides Google, go ahead, but or whatever. I guess if you used paper, that would be fine as well. They want it so the teachers can have access to it. I'll tell you the truth, I rarely look at them. Unless I have questions or students want to show me some stuff. There's just too many to go through and see. So they want you to create that, but the biggest idea, the idea behind it is to keep record of those categories, and so you can quickly fill out your assignment when we grade it. So that's where you'll get graded on the binder of the notes you've kept. So, but keep a binder and send me a link to it. That's the best thing to do. And I don't know what else I can say with that. So, but don't overcomplicate it. Okay. So, anyway, that's I guess all I can add to that. Questions? Give me a call. The synthesis project. You should all be now in a discussion group. So click on the link to the discussion here, and you should be able to get yourself into it should take you right to your group, nobody else's, and your group should be titled so you'll know what it is. I also post for everybody to see which groups everyone's in. I'll try and put that in the announcements the next day or so. Anyway, so that should show up in the announcements, and you work your way in it. So you want to communicate with your group and work together and follow these very specific instructions. So I'll just warn you that the better organized you can be at the beginning and set out some clear ground rules, put a couple of people in charge, and checking the discussion board regularly will keep everybody happy. If not, there seems to be sometimes some opportunity for a little bit of contention to enter into these groups, and I don't think that's very helpful. So anyway, here's the introduction for this project and how it's supposed to go. You can read these instructions. I don't know if I need to read them to you and then have you listen to me. And the project schedule is right here of how this all goes. Lesson 2, you should be somehow have put those things together. Lesson 2 and 3, everybody should be in a group, but sometimes it takes a little bit while to get everything going from between lesson 2 and 3. And so this is lesson 3 we're working on for these announcements. So make some assignments. You need to have maybe these kind of key players, but those who are in charge, team leaders, if that's what you want to call them, I would like to know if you have people who are non-participants, because I want to make sure and get everybody the appropriate credit. Lesson 3, you're going to follow these instructions, and it says here, choose a specific issue, problem, or question that pertains to your topic and its consequences on the world. Start a conversation about the truths you're finding in Article of Faith 2. So basically you'll have these online conversations. You can get together and have these conversations, or you can do it in a discussion board, or you can do it by email or some sort of chat program. Just make sure everybody's included. Lesson 4, which is coming for the next week, review the instructions for the first checkpoint assignment. Continue your conversation about the truths you're finding, and then synthesize your truths your group has found in Articles of Faith 1 so far and prepare to present them in your first checkpoint assignment. So anyway, you're going to just kind of basically take a world issue. This is the way the synthesis project works. You can take a world issue, and you're going to try very hard to figure out what do those eternal truths in those articles of faith, if understood, would help give us guidance and direction and how we deal with modern day serious issues. And you have discussions about it. And most of the time that's pretty fulfilling, and students seem to like that. So anyway, the first assignment you'll turn in is in lesson 5. So you'll see that's where it is. I call them checkpoints. And then lesson 9. And then at the end, there's a final project, which is a PowerPoint you put together, or a Prezi. Most students do a PowerPoint, and you submit that together and people divide that out. So anyway, here are those instructions. So read through these expectations and work your way through it, and I think you're going to be fine. You've got a few weeks to get that together, but you want to just get yourself organized, and please be a participant in your group. Don't go on the group welfare plan. So, anyway, I hope this helps. I'll try and send some more instructions as we go along, but get together, start talking about it, put some questions together, and start talking about them, and I'll watch what's going on as the discussions go along and maybe chime in a little bit. So, anyway, I hope these instructions help. If you have questions or concerns, call me, text me, email me. I would love to talk to you. Thanks. See ya, and have a great week.